Hello and welcome back, guys. Happy New Year. I hope you are having a great 2022. We're back and it's amazing. I can't wait. We have a whole new anime season ahead of us. Many new titles are starting to drop. Hello, I am Clockwork and Noodles, your host for today's breakdown. Today's episode is going to be episode 1 of Dress Up Darling. I can't wait. I'm not saying the Japanese title. I'm just going to say the happy English title on this one. I don't want to massacre it. It's too early in the new year for me to massacre some Japanese. So we're going to have me say the English title. And a big thank you to everybody who has joined the channel during my break. I took my break over the new year. I do have some unboxing videos that I have, but I haven't edited and might bring them to you guys. They don't seem to do very well. I might release them in my own time. During my break, we seem to have gained quite a few of you guys. Hello, I'm Clockwork and Noodles. I break down anime. I have a degree in history. Generally, I choose anime with a history bearing. I'm also a international cosplayer where I have represented the UK twice for cosplay internationally. This is my kind of anime, and if I was going to ignore this anime, you'd have I was okay. There was no way in hell I was going to be ignoring an anime about cosplay. I'm very excited to be breaking this down with you guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys are subscribed. If you like what I do, if you are interested in this anime in particular, make sure you are subbed so you get the notification whenever new videos go up. I generally try and do it on a weekly basis. When new anime episodes drop, I will have a breakdown for you too, where I'll just cover good things, composition, the things I like, just general, have a little bit of chattel with it. If you are curious to what I am doing this season, I am doing Bisco, I am doing Vanitas' Second Core, I am doing this anime, and I'm also doing Rose King. I can't remember the full title of my head. Those are the 4 anime I have chosen to break down. A slightly quieter beginning of the year, just because my beginning of the years always tend to be very, very crushed. I've got a lot going on. There is a Discord channel too. This will give you a notification to your phone whenever I drop a video. We don't really use it for chatting, but we do use it to monitor when things go up. I need to be 2,000 subs, I think, to even have that on YouTube. I abuse Discord because I don't need to have subs or anything. I can just tell you guys whenever a video goes up. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you enjoy, if you are new, one of my first breakdowns. Let's talk about episode 1 because it was a great episode 1. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was good. As a cosplayer, it really talks to my heart. Straight off the bat, I want to talk about how good the art style for this anime is. The eyes are sparkling. Anime in particular can do really nice anime eyes, but I think it's also necessary in an anime that is going to be looking at fabric, looking at costumes, wanting to make these characters look just that good. It will allow them to show the different qualities in the costumes. When we have a costume made by a professional doll maker, you can imagine those costumes are going to look really in depth and really, really nice compared to somebody who has just begun in cosplay. Cosplay is obviously my hobby. I have represented the country twice now. I enjoy it. I have come third internationally. I'm very proud of my costumes. I'll put a few on the screen. If you want to follow my cosplay stuff, I have an Instagram under the same name. You should just type in Clockwork and Noodles. Generally, it will come up. You'll see me as Red Death from Phantom of the Opera. I am also on Facebook, the Facebook page, again, same name. It will show you all of my progress for the costumes as I put them up. I have started a new big project, which is an anime project, old anime project, but it's going to be insane. It's a anime that is full of lots of details. Cosplay in Japan is just on another level, however. It's taking place in the heart, the home of cosplay, where you can buy a cosplay so easily in any shop. You can literally just walk into one of their shops and they'll sell budget cosplays. Obviously, the quality might not be there, but it's just different compared to being over here. There's import fees, there's big long waits. I've had a cosplay made from Demon Slayer. I ordered it November. It's still not here, but that's normal. I'm expecting it to arrive in February. Now, let's talk about the OP for a moment. The OP is fantastic. I like the colours, the flashing details. This character can be many, many different characters because it shows you everything about cosplay. Switching characters of Marin as she dances around in different cosplays, being different characters, showing you that there's no limit. You can be absolutely anybody in cosplay, and that's what I think I love about cosplay in general. One minute I am the opera ghost from Phantom of the Opera. The next minute I'm running around as Canute from Vinland Saga. I love it. Yes, I am so hyped for the 2nd season of Vinland Saga. I can't wait. The helmet I made, it's just beautiful. I love the helmet. It looks so good. I am so proud of it. It's just a tiny bit small, so I can't wear it with a wig. I'll have to make another version at some point. Anime, let's get into the anime as we talk about our first character, Gojo. And if I say Gojo, I really want to say it's Jujutsu Kaisen, but this is not a OP version. This is not the OP Gojo himself. This is Gojo Wakana, son of a doll maker. I have heard of Hina dolls. I know about Hina dolls from another anime. I don't remember what the anime was. It's like cosplay in a sense where the more hours you put in, eventually you'll become very, very good. It's just one of those arts. I appreciate anything art and creativity. I also would be very interested in talking to Wakana about his doll making skills. Tiny creepy bit with those reactions, really overly creepy reactions that he does. Apart from that, there's nothing creepy about a guy liking dolls. And that is my opinion. Clockwork Noodles fact. You can do whatever you want and I don't care what you do. If you want to make dresses and you're a guy, go for it. I don't care. As long as you're doing art and you're doing what you love, that is my motto in life. You do what makes you. Don't care about what anyone else thinks. Unless you're kidding people, then I do care. Don't do it. We do see the negative side of being hyperfixated on a hobby. And it doesn't really matter what hobby. This could be any hobby, by the way. He could be a skateboarder or just something who does pro something. Your hobby takes up all of your spare time. You don't really have the time to interact. You don't really socialize. Unsurprisingly, Wakana doesn't really have any friends. I kept switching between calling him Gojo, Wakana. At this point, we don't know him that very well, so I was calling him Wakana. This lack of social interactions makes him awkward around people, taken advantage of. He doesn't really have the ability to stand up for himself, which you know he's going to get from his now interactions with Marin, who is a fantastic character. We'll talk about her later. We do get a very nice screen composition. If you know me, I like lighting and screen composition. They are two favourites of mine. Gojo is feeling lonely. He's feeling lonely about the surroundings around him. Everybody is in their own little world. He doesn't fit in. So the frame decides to replicate this by showing you he feels lonely by putting him in the corner of the screen. There is so much negative space. He literally takes up maybe 1/4 of the screen. He's right in the corner. This is great. Most of the screen is negative spacing. It's this big emptiness around him that he is feeling. Great composition, love it. The godlike level of interference to get these two to initially bump paths, although they would have probably bumped paths later without this big introduction. I think that her flying through the air, who falls like that? What the hell was she doing? Was she up a ladder? I do think these two would have bumped paths initially, so this means that this interaction was just to show you Gojo knows the people around him, and it just shows you again that there is this feeling that two people, two different worlds. She's accepted the world that she's in, he however hasn't. This sequence is put in for a comparison, a contrast, as opposed to this is their first meeting. Obviously, they know each other. They're in the same class. He's been there for a while. He just hasn't spoken to that character. Marin knows him because he would have been on the registers. The big meeting at the end would have always happened. The sewing machine packs in. He has to go and use the one in the school. This is a comparison scene. This is also a scene where I have to look at Marin and go, the school code is slightly lax because in anime we're so used to tiny skirts. Apparently in Japan, they have to be below the knee. They're actually quite adamant that your skirt has to be below your knee. A literal picture of me does make its way into the anime. How dare they? My literal reaction to anybody who trash talks anime without even giving it a chance. That's my face. How did you get hold of my face? I claim royalties. This guy had it coming. Who the hell tries to come on to somebody by trash talking the thing they like? Did you actually want a chance to even impress this person? Don't trash talk the thing that you apparently don't like immediately. Don't open with that. Don't lead with that. Maybe start with something a bit lighter like, hi, how are you? As Gojo starts to talk to Marin and he starts to become a bit more center of the conversation, the composition starts to change and becomes a bit more even. He now only takes up half of the frame because he's actually one half of a conversation going on. Very, very clever stuff. Really like that. As Marin speaks about being used and the fact that he should be standing up for himself, I can't help but say this is a fantastic introduction to the character as a whole. Already we've seen her standing up for what she believes in, standing up for anime. Someone trash talks it. She's not about to let somebody make fun of that. But it's a great introduction to the character as a whole. She's a character who takes no nonsense. She will stand up for herself, stand up what she believes in. And she believes that Gojo should be standing up for himself. But we do get a nice visual yet again of the space between them in the classroom, as they couldn't be further from one another. They're very different in the way that they see the world, the way that they act, the way that they accept it. It's a beautiful use of space. Gotta admit, Cloverworks does occasionally know what it's doing, even though Cloverworks broke my heart last year. It does occasionally pull out a nice gem or two where it does know what it is doing. It knows how to use space. It knows how to show you characters maybe feel separated. They feel different. I like God again getting involved as Gojo is forced to stop during his work and the sewing machine breaks down, and he does also cuts his hand open. Probably a good place to leave it, but it does highlight a pain that I share with him. Finding a good stop point point. Many times, if I can't find a good stop point, I will forego sleep to try and get a costume part done. You need to find a good stop point. It's sometimes easier to find somewhere to stop whilst you're sewing because you can do it on the end of a seam. But if that seam is really long and you want that done, or if you let it go, it's going to lose its shape or tension, I will make sure that I'm awake to get that finished. Unlike the guys in this anime, however, I am a hand sewer. So that costume, Red Death, you saw right at the start, that took 2,000 hours of work because I did it all by hand. Let's get our true introduction as Marion walks in on Gojo mid-conversation with the doll. I also love the face. His face in this moment just says absolutely everything you need to know. It's the literal doom on his face as he realises he's been caught in the act again, and we've already seen how that went down in his childhood. Not so well, and there's a lot of panic on his face now as he's expecting her to freak out. And freak out, she kind of does, but in a good way. It's a good freak out that we get. I also like the subtitle underneath this sequence, just shit. The only word you need in this moment is just shit. Oh God, it's happening again. God damn it. I love it. I think I like the realism on that reaction as well. Her reaction, however, is very realistic. It's my reaction as well. There are very few people in the world who know how to sew, let alone use a sewing machine. I don't even use a sewing machine, so I'm not even in that bracket, but I do know how to sew. Seeing anybody using a sewing machine would merit that response. I believe that is a very realistic response to finding out someone in your year knows how to sew. Making clothes to me is a massive deal. Recently, as I got older, taking an appreciation for clothes as I do my modelling shoots or I make cosplays, I've got a real love for now things like fabric, cuts are hanging, how there are seams are nice and neat. All of this stuff is something I gained a reaction to very recently. This is also the one time I don't blame the anime character for initially staring at a girl who is undressing. Who the hell just randomly strips mid-conversation? He wasn't expecting it. For once, I'm actually on the guy's side. He wasn't expecting it. He was probably absolutely shocked that she's suddenly undressing. I get it. I'm on your side, dude. I get it. That's just a weird reaction. Her reaction's weird at this point. But this was indeed the scene that was used in the trailer to try and get the guys, perhaps try and get a bit more fan service, trying to get more attention to your anime. They just cut out the fact that she was wearing a cosplay underneath it. So they did the stripping really slow, but they didn't show that she was actually wearing a cosplay underneath. I like this because the anime trolled everybody to start watching it. She's actually wearing a costume. She's actually not nude. But hello, cosplay world, because Gojo's hobby is actually slightly borderline into the cosplay world. There's a lot of transferable skills there with that use of cosplay sewing, being able to sew. Obviously, cosplay is a lot more. There's cosplays which have different elements to them. A lot more of my costumes have multimedia facets to them. These two are actually on hobbies that do interlink. I like it. However, Gojo is brutal, absolutely brutal. For somebody who just wanted to be accepted for his hobby, somebody who wanted a nice reaction for once to his hobby, he does not hold back when he is tearing apart this cosplay and the lack of seams, the lack of lining. It is a brutal beatdown, and I feel her because she's literally reduced to tears at the end. I'm like, oh my God, no. Oh, he's just gone too far. Dude, stop. I know you don't know how to interact with people, but no, don't do the thing that you don't want people to do. The cosplay has no lining. It's got no seam allowance. It probably hasn't been ironed because he says it's creased. He's basically doing the thing that you really shouldn't do in cosplay. Just never break down someone's cosplay like this unless they have asked you for criticism, unless they are being judged. If you're going to be judged, you then accept that you're going to be criticized. But it is a fantastic intro. This is the true intro for these two characters. Welcome to cosplay. Exciting to me because it finally gets some of my feelings for how I feel about cosplay out into the screen as well. His doll making is just basically making cosplay for dolls on a small scale. He just needs to make things bigger. He just needs to learn how to scale things up and how it actually hangs on a real body as opposed to something which is a doll. And most of these dolls, as we see in the anime, they're just heads on sticks. It's a fantastic transferable skill. I'm very excited to see how these becoming their fast friends. We do see a friendship ignited this episode. She begs him, please make my cosplays. I want to see what happens. I think he can make really good cosplays. Obviously he does, otherwise we wouldn't have an anime here about it. He definitely would be able to make a very good cosplay, and he might even prove a good teacher. And him teaching her is going to open his social skills up, and hopefully it's going to be a story of seeing him gaining more friends, seeing him becoming better at talking to people and growing as a human. I can't wait to see how these two bounce off one another. Me having that love of cosplay as well. Never put anybody down, guys. Make sure that you are treating everybody, if you are cosplaying, with the same respect. Cosplay is always made with love. You don't have to have the top skills to show your love for something. I don't think cosplay should just be for the elite. I believe everybody should be able to get involved, as cosplay is full of just admiration for a character, love for a style, anything. I make cosplays because I think things look awesome. Most of the characters I pick generally have a piece that I want to wear and I want to have it in reality. I want it in my hand. So that's why I pick the way I do. I think it's a great first episode. I love Marin's reactions to him saying, yes, I will make your cosplays. Absolutely off the wall, ecstatic, so happy knowing that I can now cosplay this, and this. And then his reactions to hearing all these anime titles is just, what the hell is all of this? It's like gibberish. It's a whole new world to people. I remember recently, last year, I was approached by somebody who doesn't know anime, who said, I want to get into anime. Can you start recommending all these titles? I am slowly coaching them into becoming a wholesome anime bean, and they're loving the world of anime right now. But just the initial reaction when I was saying, watch this, and that person's reaction is like, what did you say? Can you say that again, but slower? I love it. I think it was a fantastic episode, full of excitement, full of colour. I like the reactions. I think there's a lot of realistic reactions, the way they bounce off one another. Can't wait to see where this anime goes. I have high hopes. Please, Cloverworks, don't do a Promised Neverland season 2 on me. You owe me a good anime. I want this to be good. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. If you have a hobby that you love, make sure nobody puts you down and you are enjoying it and doing it for you, and you are making the most of hobbies, because hobbies often make our more mundane lives worth it. They make it better. They make it more enjoyable. Thank you guys so much. I hope to see you for another video. There is a video going out later, that because the first episode of The Rose King comes out. Join me later if you want to have an anime on Shakespeare, if you want more of that darker story. It's a very dark history anime, so I can't wait to tell you guys my thoughts as a English student of history. See you guys again later, maybe. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.